I had a dream with Rhianna last night. Like, I've always did Rhianna. Nothing kinky in the dream, ASAP. No disrespect at all. She's an amazing artist. I'm sure a lot of other men my age have digged her style. Maybe even infatuated with her at some points. But, me being someone who has knowledge of self, I seen the path that she took, the door. Dark imagery really hurt my heart. But I understand these are the times that we're in. And I learned a while back not to judge someone's karma. You can't just judge people. That's why the Bible says, judge not, for you shall be judged. Whatever someone's going through, whatever role they're playing on this planet, is basically the role that we're meant to play. I know, I don't like it either. After all these years, I don't like the idea of predestination. It doesn't mean that she was the one destined for that role, but someone was destined for that role. Who it was and all the details, someone, it's not like she's the only person with that role. We're talking very dark imagery that has laid a web and a curtain of darkness, a veil of darkness over the entire planet. But in the dream, man, I was still excited to be just around her. She looked at me with these eyes. See those eyes? She was with a big bodyguard. He was leading the way. She just whisked me away, and we were just walking. And all I was just doing was just observing her. Dreams are more about your attitude and learning yourself better. Some might say there's other things to dreams, right? But my recent experiences and my recent revelations is to examine yourself, right? How did you act in the dream? How you act in the dream is how you act in real life. It's what you would have done in real life if you were in that situation. Because you don't know you're dreaming. So I was like reserved. I wasn't like, oh, wow, rah, rah, yeah, Riri. Nah, I was just observing her. It was something that she liked about me. So she was like, come on, let's go. Now, there weren't any really recent revelations. There weren't any revelations in the dream per se. But, I woke up thinking about Rhianna. And I noticed that she just released another song for the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. She released the first one, Lift Me Up. And now she just released an audio for Born Again, Wakanda Forever. Go figure. And then I saw this. She just got interviewed for the Associated Press 5 days ago. I had no idea about these occurrences, right? I had no idea that she's going to be performing at the Super Bowl, which is right around the corner already. Can you believe it? Time flies, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's wild. Enjoy your youth. Enjoy your time here. Living for the day is cool, but you could balance it out with also preparing for your future. So anyhow, right? So she's been in the news recently, and she just dropped a new song yesterday. Go figure. Like, why am I thinking about Rhianna? Like, I haven't thought about Rhianna except when somebody talks about it, but I haven't thought about her in a while. So I said, you know what? I listened to these songs, beautiful. Her voice, she's like an angel. To me, she's taking the place of Sade. Not as far as talent or persona, but as far as like, man, who holds a special spot in my heart as far as female singers, and it's Rhianna, hands down. So I started watching the video, Needed Me, right? It's an amazing video, man. Right? Alright, so. Alright.
That's the way it was. You the best.
I mean, just the imagery is sick, right? The imagery is sick, and I'm like, man, this video is crazy, right? So I'm like, man, I mean, just the scenes, and I just wanted to know who directed it. I was just interested because whoever directed it was like incredible. So I went to the IMDb and I seen all these other people. The editor, I had to check out who the editor is, right? These are all of the things that the editor has worked on, right? I was like, all right, cool. But I still want to know who the director is, all right? I mean, I checked out all these other people, right? But here is Harmony Korine. And I was looking, and this is the person who wrote Kids. Kids is off the wall. I saw GUMMO, and I was like, yo, GUMMO. I remember 6ix9ine did the song GUMMO. So I checked it out, and I checked the trailer. Right? Trailer's a little strange. Right? But it's shot excellent. And maybe we'll watch GUMMO, right? So I'm not even going to play the trailer from the creator of Kids. So, very strange, but like shot in a way that really, it still touches you, man. It keeps you captivated. And then I was looking for other movies, and this one came up. I said, you know what is this? All right, a series of hazy 8mm vignettes accompanied by a soft, lilting voice over in which girls skulk around schoolyards, spray graffiti, drink, smoke, pose, and embrace, evoking the loneliness, confusion, and overwhelming wonder of growing up. All right, filmed in Nashville. It's 4 minutes short, 2010. So we're talking 12 years ago, almost 13. All right. So let's check this out. It's quite captivating, to keep it 1000. And what I want to really express here is that we've had religion, and then we've had the absence of religion. Growing up is complicated, especially growing up in the United States. You know, I'm a movie connoisseur. I've watched Kids. I've watched Requiem for a Dream. Clockwork Orange was a little too much for me. What is it? Life is Hard in the Crack Town or something like that. If you've never seen that, you know, and you're over 18, you might want to check it out. It's wild. It's wild. And this was uploaded 11 years ago. It's basically when the movie came out, right? Let's check it out. There's no sound in the beginning. It's how it is.
I like the way paper bags look. I like when a balloon gets all fucked up and pops and everyone gets scared. I used to call my dad Saint Nick cause he fat as hell. And he always walking around with a red hat on.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. So dad fed them hell. Right?
I believe that the earth is a big ball of shit. That's why the dinosaur died out.
Yeah.
And everyone gonna die sooner or later.
Facts.
That's why I love cigarettes so much. I hope I don't die for a long time though. I still got things I wanna look at.
Yeah.
This town stinks. Most people here don't even have names. Everyone's just passing through. Fuck this town. Sometimes I can spend up to an hour staring at a bird on a tree. I wish I was that bird and I could just fly away. I like the way animals hang out in the trash and parking lots. My friends and I are a gang of fools. We can act like wild animals. We can do some messed up shit. We act like little babies sometimes.
And 40s were definitely in back in the 90s. And this was before social media is where it is today. And even though this was filmed in 2010, this gives me more like 90s vibes. You feel me? The movie was released in 2010. But let's see what Harmony has to say. It premiered on the Independent Film Channel and Sundance Channel in September. It was also made available on panzerschule.com. The film was shot in Nashville, Tennessee in 1.5 days. It features clothing from Proenza Schuler's Fall/Winter 2010 collection. It's about girls who sleep in abandoned cars and set things on fire. It's about the great things in life, the stars in the sky, and lots of malt liquor. Right? Here, you see what it says? When asked about Act the Fool, Korine seems proud of his disgraceful production, which he characterizes as a religious movie, his version of the Ten Commandments. The patterns and paint drips on their clothes spoke to me, he explains. And what, you must wonder, did Proenza Schuler's garments say to Korine? It said, go fuck up the world and burn shit, blow it up, eat mud, snort glue, drink a lot of malt liquor, and eat fried chicken, watch some strippers throw down the booty and find God. Really? Seriously? And what better way to convey this foolishness than with young black girls, right? Korine explains the science of his casting process as follows. I just asked around. I wanted to know who the greatest living delinquents were. These girls appeared. Wow, at this point you have to wonder if Korine has been sniffing some of that glue and slamming down 40s like the Proenza Schuler clothes apparently demand. The design team's really excited. They believe that Korine is trying to find the beauty in what society has refused. It's really kind of inspiring, actually really positive, proclaims Hernandez. The girls are searching for some sort of happiness. They've been beaten down, disenfranchised. Yet they still find something to believe in. The stars, friendship, and themselves, explains Hernandez. At first glance, it could come across as dark and depressing, but there's really like an optimistic message there. Okay. Optimistic, this is nothing less than naked exploitation at its worst. Modern day minstrelsy. But what more should we expect from Korine, who in the previous work, The Diary of Anne Frank Part 2, featured a man in blackface? I'm just pointing things out here, pointing something out. I'm not, because the rabbit hole goes deeper than what anyone on YouTube is going to tell you. But what you got to understand is God created good and he created evil. Why? Why would God create evil? Right? And everyone has to admit, sometimes there's a little guilty pleasure. We don't live in the old days, the Puritan days. Right? And the thing about evil is like you have to have a balance of good and evil inside of you. But I find it quite interesting, Rhianna and Jay-Z, that they chose a director that has this kind of history to show you the visuals of debauchery within the black community. Right? It's just interesting. I'm not here to judge, man. I'm not your preacher, man. I'm not the one that's here to lead you to any promised land. I'm just here to show you, man, that the forces that are here on this planet are way darker than you could imagine. Right? And things like this go under the radar that Rhianna's video, You Needed Me, was directed by this person, and it's not a coincidence that within the video there's the same kind of imagery, right, being portrayed to our young black females. This evil is here, and this evil is what's controlling the planet. So yes, they have to walk through a door, but are you gonna want something different? If the world wanted something different, it's like Jay-Z said, I'd rather be rhyming like common sense. I made 5 mil, I haven't been rhyming like common sense. And even all of the so-called conscious rappers from back in the day, it's still, man, so many that were out there. But obviously the force of evil on this planet, in this realm, in this matrix, is stronger. It's prevalent, right? This is deep though. This is deep. I'm not here saying it's bad or good.